Acolytes are special enemies found on most missions on Steel Path, and they have a spawn timer from anything between the 3 to even around the 8-minute mark, usually. There are 6 different Acolytes, and I'm going to talk more specifically about each one later in the video. They're also the only enemy in the game that drops Steel Essence. And straight away, let's go on how to kill them. First thing, the weapon. Or you can even use Warframe abilities, depending on what you want to use. But general formula will work for everyone. Get a decent weapon. Something that is not super trash and something that you have a fairly decent build on it. Use CC. If possible, use Armor Strip. Armor Strip in this game is super accessible. Use it. It makes it a bit easier. There are weapons that are super strong and there is no pretty much hard to go wrong, and weapons like the Nataruk, the Fenmore, the Phalarx, the Latum, the Glaive Prime, or even a Zol with Exodia Contagion, all of those are gonna have absolutely no problem with Acolytes, but I really mean that most weapons shouldn't have any problem dealing with them. Just a matter of get them built, get a good build, put the Forma in, put the mods, get the Galvanized, the Arcanes, and you shouldn't really have a problem. You could even think about weapons. There's just so many good weapons to use. You can use the Calor or melee. You can pretty much, if it has slash, you shouldn't have a problem. Just make a build for heavy attack and really you shouldn't have a problem. For secondaries, already said about the Latum. You could even use the Epitaph with a charged build if you wanted to. Let's see what else from the secondaries. You could use the Spirix. You could use... There's just so many. Just so many, really. These end of the 10 of the Diplos. You could use the Kuva Brak. You could use the Kuva Kraken. Underrated weapon, to be honest. So that's really about how it goes. The CC, it's not every CC that they're gonna take. They're not gonna get like lifted by Hildrim's 4. They're not, you know, some super crazy abilities. They're not gonna get affected. They're not affected by Neja's Divine Spear, you know, something like that. But they are gonna be affected by Snare and Snare from Korra, the Condemn from Harrow. You know, those are the most basic abilities. Even Equinox's Sleep will work on them. It's not going to be the same thing as for other enemies. And probably the easiest to have on for every player is Magus Lockdown. By the time you dash towards them, the grenade is going to be on the ground. That duration is just enough for you to kill pretty much any Acolyte. If we're talking even more about killing, if you're having problem, you can bring a Tenno Specter with you. You could even use a on-call crewmate, but that is completely overkill. Should you have an on-call crewmate? Always. But really to use them to kill an Acolyte, let's say, only when you're on an endurance mission, and if you don't use it, things are gonna go super south. And I mean, things are gonna go super bad if you don't. Yeah. Say you have all of your stacks, everything is ready to kill a Demolisher, Demolist that's running towards your conduit. You have a terrible effect. It's like energy drain. You're on the first conduit of that wave. You need to get him killed, but the Acolyte's spawning right now. You need him killed. Yeah, just to use it. That's something that I do eventually. All right, let's go over the Acolytes now. All right, let's start with Angst. Angst is the melee frame. Looks kind of like Valkyrie. Will teleport to your back. Is fully melee. She has the claws. I think she's on Hysteria mode. It's one of the easiest to kill as long as you don't stand still. It has this unique roar that gives you some reflect some damage, let's say. But that's it. It's gonna be melee, and yeah, one heavy attack of a melee build for a contagion was able to kill it. Not even needed a CC, but he would be affected by Condemn, by Magus Lockdown, or anything like that. Right here, it is the most dangerous Acolyte. He used his special ability, which is Silence, and I'm probably dead. Silence is potentially the most dangerous ability of all of the Acolytes. So he will nullify every ability pretty much. 10 seconds of immune now. He has a Distress, if I'm not wrong. Okay. And he will come to melee range, he'll try to kill you. He has kind of like a slash, not really a slash dash from Excalibur, but it really looks like it. Can be CC'd too, but yeah, not the... For me, it is the most dangerous of them all, but always killable. Alright, here comes Malice. Also one of the potentially most dangerous. Just casted a mag bubble on me. I would say that there is a 95% chance that he's gonna cast a mag bubble on you on the first, I don't know, 6 seconds when he spawns. He has a Opticore. His body, I think it looks like frost. He's pretty dangerous because of the bubble. There are also some drones that'll, I think they'll dig damage and also fly like the Ospreys. And yeah, but now he's dead. CC'd and killed. Here we have Mania, another melee Acolyte. This one has, I think he has a sword. That has a Lacera. And he has Zephyr's ability of deflecting bullets and stuff. So that is something that you're gonna have to deal with. And that, if you don't have, like, say, a throw glaive or a throw weapon or something like that, you're gonna have to get up close. And that's where the dangerous stuff begins. He has a part of, I think it's part of his combo. He just lifts you. And you know what you can do when you get lifted? Nothing. Lifts you, and then he has a kind of crazy status chance. He's gonna put a slash proc on you, and you're gonna be dead in no time. So, oh, yeah, might be dead now. Close one. And dead. Alright, here we have Misery. Looks like Necros. Even has a After Reaper there. He used to be one of the worst because he's actually able to use Shadows of the Dead. He used to cast that on the falling Acolytes. So you had sometimes double violence, maybe double angst, which could be a big problem. But it's been a couple months now since one of the last patches, I'm probably dead, that he's not actually using Shadows of the Dead anymore. He used to start it with summoning the little dudes, the little crawlers, and then after he got to half HP, he would summon the fallen Acolytes. And that used to be terrible. Now he's just another Acolyte. He also uses Soul Punch, so he'll get you knocked down eventually. But not such a big deal these days. Alright, here we have Torment, which looks, I think it looks like Mesa. It has dual, or not dual, it has Asbestos, and I think it also has a melee. It has a Nabros shoulder, uses Hydroid Tidal Surge, will shoot you with the pistols, and usually isn't a big deal, but yeah, Tidal Surge will knock down you. But it really isn't that hard. After really just playing a bit and trying to show you guys, on like just recording the parts of this video, I realized that one of the worst things, like, Acolytes are easy to deal with. The real problem is dealing with Acolytes in a, like, surviving with everyone around. Or maybe it's just because I'm using a frame that is not 100% invincible like Revenants, that's all the time, nor invisible like Ash, Tavia, Loki, you know. So it's just a little bit harder. If you mess up, if you get caught lacking, you're dead. If it isn't the Acolyte that's gonna kill you, are the enemies around. So yeah, it's pretty easy to get killed. The Acolytes themselves aren't a big deal. If you're prepared, you're not. That's kind of what I think. And if you really push yourself a little bit, or you get the... As soon as you get it going, you'll see that you just shred stuff. I'll leave a few clips here of some Acolytes getting absolutely murdered. Are really decent. One is good. The last thing I want to say to pretty much round up the video is that if you go above, let's say level 2k, or you're on an endurance mission, after you reach the thousands, you don't need to kill Acolytes anymore. If you want to speed it up, armor strip them and just keep running, keep doing your stuff, keep completing your mission, because they are not, let's say they're a third faction, you being the Tenno faction, your enemies you're facing being the second faction, there will be a third faction in your mission. They will be attacked by the enemies in your mission, so they're gonna die pretty quickly, and literally it's just that. Or if you're just playing Revenant, you can stand still and let them kill themselves by attacking you, because Mass Skin is gonna reflect the damage. So yeah, Acolytes just die after enemies are around level 2k, and even when you hit the level cap, if you're going for that, they're gonna be around the level 400s, and it's not gonna be a problem. Peace.